Good morning, First United Methodist Church family. I'm taking this opportunity this morning, just a few days before Christmas, to share with you a word of thanks. This year, for the very first time, we conducted our commitment campaign for our annual church budget online. With the COVID pandemic, we didn't know how that would go. Pastor Brian and I produced a video sharing about the history and the ministry and the needs of First United Methodist Church. And then we, as usual, distributed out commitment cards and made connections to say, hey, it's time for us to look at 2021. And then we just had to wait and see what would happen. And I am excited to say that you responded so well, that you responded with such love for the church and for the ministry of First United Methodist Church, that this past Sunday, we were able in a charge conference to adopt a balanced budget for the year 2021. This is only possible because of your giving, your commitments, your pledges to the church, which allow us to look forward and to plan for the future. This has been an extremely unusual year with the COVID-19 pandemic, but it has been a year in which we have done some amazing ministry. When the pandemic started, the church staff and I were able to start up online worship. We had talked about doing online worship for some months before the pandemic and thinking about how we might do that. And this opportunity and need caused us to move quickly, and through the leadership of Pastor Brian, Zach, Ellen, others in the church, we were able to get online worship up quickly. During the year, we have worshiped online and also socially distanced in person. We've done outdoor worship services that have been a lot of fun. We had probably our first ever outdoor confirmation service, which was a real blessing and a special opportunity in which students were confirmed and a number of our students were baptized. We have continued to minister through online media, such as classes, Sunday school classes, life groups, committees, all operating in Zoom. And this has allowed us to continue to have Bible study, to continue to have Sunday school, to continue to be together. When the pandemic has allowed, the youth have had socially distanced gatherings. When they couldn't, they've been online. And we have continued to minister. Not only have we continued to have our programming, even in this really difficult and unprecedented time, we have continued to do ministry for those in need in this community. Matthew 25 continues to operate, and we help people every week with utilities, with rent assistance, with other items that help them get through this tough time. Also, Open Table is going full blast. Open Table is now a drive-up program where people drive up to get a meal, and Open Table is serving on a regular basis more than 150 individuals a week. First United Methodist Church is doing exciting ministry during the pandemic, and it's happening every day. I know we're not always doing what we'd like to do. When it was determined that we couldn't meet in person for Christmas Eve, I'm sure all of us were grieved at that decision and the need to make that decision. Yet I also know that you're going to very much enjoy the Christmas Eve offerings of worship that we have for you at 3 p.m., 5 p.m., and then also at 7 p.m. It's going to be a time of worship and music and sharing together. And we're so glad for the ability and the opportunity to do that. My mind often goes back to the history of our church. When Fred N. Willis was the pastor of this congregation, when it was known then as First Methodist Episcopal Church, during that pandemic, they didn't have electronic media. They didn't have social media. They didn't have video. And so the church could only minister in very distant ways through mail and through phone calls possibly, but certainly not the kinds of things we can do now. And yet, First Methodist Episcopal Church, now First United Methodist Church, thrived, survived that Spanish flu pandemic, and we're going to do the same thing. We are thriving, and we are going to survive and move into the future in exciting ways. Our church staff is already planning for what we will be doing in the coming year, and we have a lot to look forward to. This last night, the 21st of December, last night, was what's called the longest night. It is the night in which we have the longest amount of darkness in the year. And I think that's really symbolic for the place where we have been and the place we are soon to leave. We are experiencing and have been experiencing the longest night with this COVID-19 pandemic. Yet now, with vaccines being distributed, we know that in the coming weeks, the coming months, things are going to improve. It is going to get brighter. It's going to get better. And as those things happen, we will be expanding our ministries, ramping out things in person that we can do in person, adding things as it is safe to add things each step of the way, so that before 2021 is over, I believe that we are going to be transitioning into just exciting ways of being church. And yet, we have learned so much in 2020 that we are going to continue from now on always to offer an online opportunity for worship. We will always be offering streaming video now and into the future for those who need it, for those who can't get here, as an outreach opportunity, for those who are homesick, for those who are shut in. We have learned how to reach out to people in some new ways. God has given us a great opportunity in the coming year. Again, I want to say thank you for your giving. Thank you for your commitment and your pledge to First United Methodist Church. It means so much that you have placed your confidence in the ministry of the church in these times. And because of it, we're going to continue to do all those things that we need to do as the church to be God's church here in this community. And just a few days away from Christmas, I want to take this opportunity to say Merry Christmas. May God bless you in the Christmas season, and may you be blessed in the coming new year.